Hi, welcome to my channel. If you are new, I'd like to welcome you and ask that you stick around and listen to the end of the video. If you're a returning viewer, I just want to thank you for sticking around with me all this while. Today we are going to address basic interview skills and tips for you to be successful to land a new job or a second or a third job. These are things that are very important. So listen all through. I plead with you to listen and do not stop in the middle of the video because you are going to miss the most important things at the end of the video. So this video is going to be divided into three. The first section, we are going to review the things you should do before the interview, things you should do during the interview, and the last section will be addressing things you do after the interview. So let's dive right in. The first thing that I ask for you to do, or I advise any job seeker to do before an interview, is to do your homework. Do your research on the company for which you are going to be interviewing with. Do your homework on the position, what it entails, and the skill set that are valuable for someone to be successful in this position, right? These are very important. Why? Because before you go into an interview, you want to make sure that you at least know the basics of the company, such as the mission statement of the company, the services that they do provide, so that you are better equipped to answer any questions that may arise during the course of the interview. Right, so the first thing I want you to do is do your basic homework, your research. Try to understand the mission statement of the company and what the company stands for. Most times these are listed on the company website if the company does have one. Today, in this day and age, many companies and organizations do have a website that informs customers and visitors of what they stand for and the services that they provide. So take time to read this and be familiar with what the company stands for. Okay, these are things you do before the interview. Also, before the interview, you want to make sure that you are prepared. Prepared in what sense? Try to have a Q&A of some basic questions that normally arises during interviews. For example, why did you leave your previous job? How do you work with other people? These are basic questions that will definitely arise during your interview. So you want to make sure that you have answers that you are going to provide when and if you are asked these questions. Okay? During the interview or on the day of the interview, I want you to first of all have a good night's rest. The day before your interview, you want to have a good night's rest. Why is this important, you asked? This is valuable because the brain needs to rest for you to be able to function at your best the next day. When you do not get a good night rest, it can affect how you perform during the interview and how you engage with others. You don't want to come across as tired, boring, exhausted early in the morning or in the afternoon. You want to be able to rest so that you present fresh and ready to tackle the interview process. Okay, all right, now let's review what you can do the day of the interview. On the day of the interview, first of all, before the day, you've already prepared the dress. First of all, what are you going to wear? You want to dress for success. Nothing outlandish, nothing unprofessional. If you are going for an interview, regardless of the position, you want to go in business casual. This could mean wearing a dress, pantsuit, whatever works for you. Okay, blue jeans are discouraged. Blue jeans are not encouraged. I do not encourage anyone wearing blue jeans to an interview. So take your time to pick out an outfit that works for you. Something that is clean, nice looking, and professional. Okay, you want to leave a very good first impression of your image. This is something that you have control over. So take your time and put a lot of thought and planning into the outfit that you ultimately wear to your interview. Even if you are interviewing for a nursing position, please do not wear scrubs. Avoid wearing scrubs to an interview. You can wear scrubs when you're going to work, but when you're going to an interview, you want the employer to see a different side of you, something that they may not see once you begin wearing those scrubs to work. So you want to present professional, clean, and neat. If you are a guy, I recommend that you shave any facial hairs. Shaving your facial hair allows you to have a clean face, right? So please try to shave and look neat. If you are a lady, do your hair. Make sure your hair looks neat. It's not tangled looking, jumbled. It's fresh looking. And makeup is allowed, but simple makeup, nothing overblown, over the top, nothing dramatic. So be very conscious of how you present yourself, because when they see you, they are seeing you for the first time, and that first impression that you leave can mean a lot as to whether or not you get the job or not. So do your best, control those things that you can control. Another thing to do on the day of the interview is to make sure you eat a nice and simple breakfast if your interview is in the morning. Nothing dramatic, just a simple, plain, nice breakfast, right? You don't want to go to the interview and you are hungry, you're looking like you want to rush and get out of there, right? So make sure you eat. Nothing overblown, nothing dramatic, just a simple breakfast, whatever you like, and drink some water. Water is very important. Drink some water, eat a nice and simple breakfast. Another thing, if your interview is scheduled say at 9 or 10 o'clock, arrive early or on time. Avoid arriving late. Showing up early or on time tells the employer that you are conscious of time. It can also give them a window into your punctuality once you begin to work there. So arrive early or on time. If you are going to run late, because things do happen, emergencies do happen. No, nobody can tell what's going to happen tomorrow. If you are going to run late for any reason, make sure you have a contact number of someone at the facility that you can call to advise them of why you might be running late. If you are going to be so late, I recommend rescheduling the interview, sending an email and calling to tell them what happened and why you cannot make that interview. Avoid showing up late. Showing up late doesn't bode well for you. Okay? So these are things you should do before you show up for the interview. Number 2, while you are there at the interview, introduce yourself. Once you meet the panel of those that are going to be interviewing you, introduce yourself to them. Say your name. My name is Bess. I am this. Shake hands and maintain eye contact. Eye contact is very important. Maintain eye contact, shake hands, and have a seat. Once the interview begins, listen to the questions and do your best to answer all questions that are asked of you in their entirety. Avoid dodging and questions, okay? Avoid spinning answers to questions that are not even asked. Another thing, do not speak ill of your previous employer. A lot of job seekers make this mistake of speaking ill of the previous employers. If you do this, it's not going to help your cause in any way. So avoid falling into these rabbit holes of speaking ill of your previous employer. No matter what your previous employer has done to you that you deserve or did not deserve, leave that behind you. Remember, you are here to chart a new course, open a new page in your book, and continue your career. So let bygones be bygones. Focus on the positives. You are going to be asked, how do you work well with others? Just answer the questions. I'm hoping at this time that you've prepared and you've mastered a response that you can give that can present authentic, like you are not making anything up, right? You want to be as natural as you can, authentic as you can. Do not give answers to please someone. Speak from the heart, and the employer will see this. Okay? Answer every questions. During the interview, you as well seize the opportunity when you are given to understand more about the employer. Ask questions that you may have. Ask them questions about the position, what it entails, so that it can alleviate any anxiety that you may have and help you decide should you be given a job offer for that position. Another thing I avoid discussing on the first day of the interview, avoid talking about salary. When you are asked about salary, simply say you are welcome to receive an offer and you are going to respond when one is presented. Avoid talking about salary on the very first day, because things that concern money usually do not go well. So give yourself a chance and the employer a chance to get to know one another, and then when it gets time to talk about salary, you guys can cross that bridge. But for right now, just use the time you have to market yourself. Let the employer know what you bring to the team, right? Talk about the skills that you possess, how well you can match with the company based on their mission and their philosophy, right? Let the employer see this in you. And at the end of the interview, thank everybody for the opportunity to interview. And if you can, request for their business cards so that when you go home, I'm going to tell you what to do with that. Request for the business card for all those that interview you, and you leave graciously and you thank them for the opportunity. When you are leaving, also shake hands and maintain eye contact. Eye contact is very, very, very important. All right. Now the interview is over. You get into your car. Your anxiety is down. You are hoping to get a call, right? Drive safely home. When you get home, take time to eat, relax. Before you go to sleep, I want you to do this. This is very important. It can make or break the chance for you to get a job. Why am I saying this? Most job seekers, when they interview, they just forget about it and they move on to the next job that they are looking for. Do not fall in this trap. Once you get home before the night is over, take time, sit down and draft a thank you letter or email to those that interviewed you. I'm assuming by this time you guys have already communicated by email, and during the interview you've requested for their business cards. You have those and you can use the email addresses that are on there to thank them. Do not call on the phone. Send a simple email to those that interviewed you, just simply stating that I am very grateful for the opportunity to interview. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. I look forward to the next step of the process. Simple, sweet, to the point. That's it. Send that email and now you can rest and relax and go to sleep knowing that you've done all you can control, and you leave the rest to the decision makers at the company. If you are listening to this video and you've gotten to this end, I would just want to thank you. And I also want to say that if you need help, I'm going to leave a link down below for that you can contact someone if you need help with interview preparations and even resume writing. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please hit the button down below, subscribe and follow me. I look forward to you coming back and leaving me some comments in the comment section.